guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel, and it's already time for May favorites. Like, can't believe May is already over, but this is the video where I get to do my roundup of all the skincare and beauty products that have made a big impression on me this month. And hey, if you're new here and you're liking what you're seeing, you're vibing with me, or maybe this video is going to help you out, please feel free to hit subscribe at any time in the video to see more from me. So you know the drill, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. First up this month is the April Skin Artemisia Rice Essence Toner. And I will be honest with you, I did not expect to like this toner all that much. Like the very first time I used it, I was like, it's okay. But honestly, I've been finding myself reaching for this a lot in the morning time. So it definitely had to become a favorite because it's actually become a big part of my like daily skincare routines. So I reach for this a lot in the morning because I have been working out more in the morning. You know, I, like many other people, fell off the fitness wagon with the whole global pandemic. I mean, our lives were just like turned upside down. And for many of us, fitness and wellness just kind of took a back seat. And that was definitely me over the last couple of months. And so, you know, May, I really recommitted myself to wellness. And that's not just working out, but just like a holistic approach to wellness. And definitely working out was a part of that plan. And so I've been working out a lot, especially like first thing in the morning. And I don't like to go into a workout with like not washing my face. Does that make sense? I can. I don't think it's always a good idea. I can, but I prefer a little bit of a quick cleanse, something simple. I don't want to do like an 8-step skincare routine, workout, and then wash up, and then do another 8-step skincare routine. It's just too much. In all senses, it's just too much. So what I do is I swipe some micellar water across my face with a reusable cotton pad, rinse with some water. I'll do a couple layers of the April Skin Toner, and then I'll just put on some moisturizer, and then I'm good to go. After my workout is when I will wash up and do a full, you know, kind of proper skincare routine, if you will. And so, yeah, this has been fitting the bill really nicely for the mornings because it's hydrating, it's refreshing, it's simple, it's gentle on my skin. It gets the job done. So texture wise, I was a little bit surprised because this actually looks like it's got some thickness to it when you kind of first get it out onto your hand. It looks like it's got some body to it, but it is actually still very light and very hydrating on the skin. There's really no moisture or balance to this. This is pure hydration, quickly absorbed and really easy to layer up on the skin. I think pretty much any skin type will really enjoy this one. Now let's just quickly touch on ingredients because you probably got excited when I said Artemisia, which is one of my favorite ingredients, mugwort. Definitely love that for calming and soothing the skin. We've got 80% of mugwort leaf water, and then we've also got a rice extract in here, just a hint of it though. It's about 1%. Now I will be honest with you, this is, when it comes to mugwort, you know, like I said, it's calming and soothing. Some of my favorite products that do that, like the Misha Artemisia essence, this is not like that, okay? Essences are a lot more concentrated. That particular Misha product, it's fermented, so it's even more concentrated. That brings deep, powerful calming to the skin. This is a toner. It's a more watered down format. It just can't deliver that type of calming in this type of format with these types of ingredients. So I just kind of wanted to make that very clear because if you're somebody who loves mugwort like I do, you could be disappointed in this product because it doesn't bring that like relief to your skin. It's gentle. It's soothing in the sense that it brings hydration to your skin. It just doesn't have that like that extra kick up because of the format. You know, toners, like I said, they're much more watery and that's fine. This is just here to hydrate my skin. I can get the calming from other things, but I think it's important to know that going in because like I said, you could very well be disappointed if you're expecting that, but if you just want a toner that is going to balance your skin, hydrate it, maybe plump it up a little bit, be gentle, this is a really nice option. Next up is the Toun28 Centella Asiatica and Peptide Serum. And this surprised me from like top to bottom. This serum really did. There's so much here. So the ingredients was definitely very juicy. We do have Centella in here. We have copper tripeptide 1 and acetyl hexapeptide 8. This is actually a pretty common combination that you find across some K-beauty products, the peptide peptides here. Copper tripeptide 1 is a great anti-aging peptide, and acetohexapeptide 8 can kind of help to firm the skin. I always say this, it's a temporary effect, meaning as you use the product with the acetohexapeptide 8, you'll notice firming and lifting on your skin, but once you stop using it, the effect will go away. So it's not permanent. It's not like really improving your skin. It's just the effect of using the product. Nothing wrong with that, but just kind of good to know what to expect. And I do think that this product does have some kind of plumping benefit to it. So that makes sense with that particular peptide. Another area where I was surprised by is the texture, because this is a milky, creamy type of serum. And that in and of itself, I think, is a texture you don't usually run into in serums, right? They're usually like gel types of textures, but this was very surprising, and even more surprising when you get it onto your skin, because you're expecting something kind of rich and heavy, but this is not at all. It's a really pleasant texture. As you spread it, you'll feel how creamy and silky this is, but you're also going to feel hydration. Like there's a watery component to this that feels really nice. It quickly absorbs in the skin, and then you're going to feel some nourishment and richness to this, some moisture, some balance. It is like, it's nourishing. There is a hint of richness, but it's just not greasy or heavy at all. I found it really, really pleasant. And I did go through a little bout of irritation earlier this month, and I do find that moisture, along with hydration, but moisture does kind of bring some calming, kind of soothing comfort to my skin when it's in an irritated state. And this definitely brought that. It just didn't build a lot of thickness on my skin, which is good, because some days it's kind of hot and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so like, my skincare is just feeling so thick on my skin. And then some days it's actually pretty still kind of like cool and chilly. So it's nice to have a serum that kind of has like a step in both worlds. It's not so heavy. It can still work for the hot days, but it's not so light that it's making my skin maybe feel like not, I don't know, not like moisturized or comforted when it's feeling a little bit cooler. So it was definitely a very surprising texture, but a pleasant surprise. So as I mentioned, I did go through some irritation earlier this month, and this is definitely a product that I turned to during that time, and it performed beautifully. You know, the Centella in here definitely does calm the skin. The moisture element and the hydration element balances and soothes and comforts my skin. This is not a like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, kind of like instant relief on your skin. There are some products out there when my skin is irritated, the moment it touches my skin, it's like, ah. This is not that product, and I'm not even mad at it for that, but I want to make that very clear. This is like one of those products that works in tandem with everything else to really bring the calming and the soothing into your routine. And in that sense, this was a gorgeous team player in my skincare routines. You know, the moisture comforted and soothed. The Centella definitely brought irritation relief, but the overall texture and weight of this just didn't overwhelm my skin in the late springtime. So definitely loving this. Now this brand is interesting. I talked about them a couple of months ago in my video where I was talking about things I'm excited about in the skincare community, because this brand is really all about sustainability. You know, this is kind of a loaded topic. It could go either way. But I do think this brand is doing some interesting things when it comes to packaging and to their commitment to kind of lessening their use of plastics. Now that's one way to think about approaching sustainability in packaging in beauty products. It's not the only way, but it is one of the ways. And so I just appreciate that they're exploring different possibilities, because, you know, it's always those little changes that can make, that kind of add up to make bigger changes ultimately. And so I just respect that they are exploring different options. Next up is the First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub. And this is a product that definitely got a lot of love because of getting back onto the fitness wagon, because when you're getting all sweaty and grimy and working hard and training like a beast, you could definitely get some breakouts on your body. I'm definitely prone to just like congestion on my back that can definitely turn into some full-blown like breakouts and pimples if I'm not careful. So regular exfoliation of my body is very important, but even more important when I'm working out and getting sweaty. I definitely need to kind of like up my exfoliation game. And this is interesting because it is a body scrub. So we do have some pumice in here, some scrubby particles, but we also have chemical exfoliation exfoliation in here too. 10% total of glycolic and lactic acid. So these are both AHA chemical exfoliants that really help to remove the dead skin cells on the top layer of your skin. And that seems to work really well for me and my body skin, because as long as I keep the dead skin cells like, you know, sloughing off, as long as I keep that cycle going, I'm a lot less prone to breakout. So this is like really the perfect like after like workout shower product for me. I can get a little bit of exfoliation. I can kind of get on the rough spots like on my elbows and my knees, but I also get the chemical exfoliation too for my back and the tops of my shoulders. And it works really, really well. Like my back is very smooth right now. The tops of my shoulders are a lot less bumpy. It's definitely helped with my like rough knees. So I really like this a lot. And I particularly like that this is fragrance free, because I will tell you, this is like a mini this or that. I will tell you, I was sent like a nearly identical product from Pixi. It is a body scrub with the same percentage, 10% of AHAs from glycolic and lactic acid. And it does have artificial fragrance in it, which is not something I mind in a body product, to be honest. It's more of an issue for sensitivity on my face, but in the shower, I don't mind it on my body. But I'll tell you, I mind the smell of the Pixi scrub. Oh, it is so cloying. It is so perfumey and floral and just like, I can't. I really don't like it. It's a big turnoff for me. It's a nice product, but it's a big turnoff. And like I said, this is nearly identical with no fragrance in it. And so there's just much more of a joy to use for somebody like me. So yeah, I've been really impressed with this. Now I will tell you, you know, they call this a KP bump eraser, KP being keratosis pilaris, and I actually don't have that condition. I just have whiteheads on the top of my arms. I call them little bumps, but they're mostly just like whiteheads and clogged pores. I don't think it's like true KP, and so I can't speak from that sense that that'll work for people who do have KP. But if you're like me and you do get like whiteheads on the tops of your arms, or maybe some back knee, or you just have some like rough areas where you'd like a little bit of physical and chemical exfoliation on your body, this performs beautifully. Next is the Ordinary 100% Chia Seed Oil. And I've actually wanted to try this product for years. What? Why? I mean, like, it's so affordable. The Ordinary's oils are like under $10. This has been in my wish list at Sephora forever. But, you know, for whatever reason, there's always those few skincare products that just never, you always want to try them, but they just never make it to your cart. You know what I mean? And this was one of them. And so finally I added it to my cart with the Sephora sale a couple months ago. And I've been loving this. Ever since I got it, I've just been so into this. Now, you know, the reason why I wanted to try this for so long is because chia seed oil is actually really good for your skin's moisture barrier. It's got lots of fatty acids in it, including omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 fatty acid in particular is extremely good for your skin's moisture barrier health and your lipid layer. It's very, very good for your skin's health and strength. And so definitely a reason why I wanted this particular oil. Another reason I wanted to try it is because all the oils that I have on rotation, like before I got this, were pretty heavy, which makes sense because the weather was a lot colder, but it is warming up now. And I'm like, look, I love an oil in my skincare routine all year round. I don't stop using oil in the summer. I might skip it a day or two, or like I won't put it on in the day, but I'll put it on in the night. But even so, I love oil in the summertime, which is funny because I actually get oily in the summertime. My T-zone can get quite greasy, but even so, just overall my skin really appreciates just a little bit of oil in my skincare routine. So I've been looking for something a little bit lighter, and I've been playing around with lots of different oils, but that was kind of my excuse to get this one. I will say this one is pretty solidly medium weight. It's not the lightest oil, but it's definitely not as heavy as the other ones I was using. So this has been a nice compromise, honestly. Although I think another reason why I've been reaching for this, even though it is getting warmer, is I don't need to use a lot. Like 2-3 drops maximum mixed into a moisturizer is all my skin needs. It's actually a pretty powerful oil. You know, the texture, it's pretty emollient. You think it's going to be pretty heavy, but it's not, because it's got really good absorbency into the skin. And it does bring a nice nourishment and richness, but it's actually not as greasy or as shiny as you might think. And I think it's just due to how well it absorbs into the skin. And especially if you do like to mix your oils into another cream or moisturizer, I don't think that this is going to make your skin particularly shiny. I haven't really run into that issue at all with this, but I will tell you, it is a little bit more on the medium weight side, and it's definitely very nourishing and moisturizing inside of your skin. Really big fan of this. My skin has been just drinking it up, really loving it. It's a huge bottle. This is, how much is this? Is this 30? This has got to be 30. This is 30 milliliter product, but it's under $10. And like I said, I use like 2 drops, 3 drops a day. I'm never going to make a dent in this bottle. I'm going to have this around for a really long time. So huge value, wonderful fatty acid packed oil for the skin. And yeah, my skin's just loving it. Quick shout out to the Naturekind Super Barrier Urea 5 cream. Also, side note, every time I look at this, I think it says Scream, not 5 cream. And so I kind of refer to this in my head as the Scream cream. But anyways, this is a wonderful skin repairing and soothing cream. This is 5% of urea, which is a wonderful moisture barrier supportive ingredient. We've got panthenol and madecassoside. And this is kind of like a souped up Cica cream, if you will, because it can really help relieve areas of irritation on the skin. But I actually use this particularly for a stubborn patch of eczema. I talked about this quite a bit on my channel as I was going through it. I got like this like rough flaky patch right here. And I finally got it under control and soothed, and it wasn't inflamed. But the weird thing was that rough kind of patch was still sort of like there. It was definitely like 80% improved, but there's still some rough skin left over. And that's where this came in, because urea is really good for relieving rough patches. It's actually really good if you do have a psoriasis as well. And so I've been just dabbing a little bit of the urea onto that area, and the rough patch is gone. Finally, love this. So I wanted to shout this out particularly for people who do deal with like that flaky, rough eczema. If you do have psoriasis, you know urea is a good ingredient already. This is a lovely one from Naturekind with some other soothing ingredients thrown into the mix as well. I like the formulation. There's no fragrances or essential oils in this, but there is a natural scent, and I don't know if it's the urea or what. It actually kind of reminds me of tamanu oil, which is not in the ingredients list at all. But it has that kind of nutty, earthy kind of scent. I don't mind it at all, but I figured I'd mention it because sometimes when skincare is not including fragrant ingredients, you're expecting something that doesn't smell like anything. And there's definitely a nutty, earthy scent to it, but it's just the raw ingredients. It's not from any fragrant component. So I hope you guys enjoyed that roundup, and I'm always curious to know what were your favorite products from this month. So let me know in the comment box below. You know, I always like to sign off my monthly favorites video with a message. You know, usually it's a lesson or something I took on during the last month. And I kind of alluded to it earlier in the video, which is recommitting myself to my personal wellness. And that's really kind of where I want to leave this video with, is really considering your recommitment to your wellness, whether it be physical, mental, or spiritual. I think we do all need to kind of step up that wellness a little bit, because it has taken a back seat. It's definitely become less of a priority for us over the last year and a half. And as I mentioned in last month's video, I do feel like that fog is lifting, like we are really kind of starting to emerge on the other side. And we're kind of picking up the pieces of that a little bit. It is exciting. It is hopeful. It is a good thing, but we also are kind of like surprised, you know, coming out of the other side. We're a little bit different now, and definitely committing yourself to your wellness is something that I think we all could probably do a little bit better at. So that's definitely what I've been trying to embrace this month, and definitely going forward, is taking care of my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual self. It's not just working out. It's not just eating well. You know what I mean? It's about listening to my body and my cues and what I need, and really nourishing myself. And a big part of that is realizing, like I said, we're kind of like coming out of the other side as different people, and we're kind of picking up the pieces. There's a lot of pain. There is a lot of trauma that we dealt with. And so as much as committing to wellness and committing to taking care of ourselves is the right thing to do, also understand it's not always the easy thing to do, and to just be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself as you kind of embark on, you know, committing to a little bit more wellness in your life. It's not an easy process. You know, it's easy for me to just say recommit to wellness, but I also understand it's going to be a struggle for a lot of us. So just take it slow. Be kind with yourself, be patient with yourself, but definitely remember to take care of yourself. So with that being said, I hope you guys are healthy, happy, and safe wherever you are. I cannot wait to see you in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.